The movie begins with Ra-hee, a recent college graduate who has just landed an internship as a reporter at Dong-Myung News Agency. She isn't the only new hire. Several other interns are starting their first day as well, including her university friend Jin. During orientation, everyone is assigned to different departments. Jin joins the photography team, while Ra-hee is assigned to the entertainment news department. Her new boss, Mr. J, immediately leaves a terrible first impression. He's loud, short-tempered, and constantly yelling at people over the phone. His explosive personality makes the office feel tense, leaving Ra-hee even more nervous on her first day. As she quietly stands near her desk, she notices Woo, a senior reporter in the department, nursing several injuries. It turns out he was beaten up by the bodyguards of a famous celebrity named Han while trying to get a story. Furious, Mr. J tells Woo to sue Han's agency, but Woo explains that he secretly recorded the incident without permission, so taking legal action would only get him into trouble as well. With no other choice, he decides to let it go. Hearing this only makes Mr. J angrier. He throws mud at Han's commercial playing on the office TV, making it obvious that he has a personal grudge against the celebrity. Mr. J then turns his attention to Ra-hee. He bluntly tells her that interns in his department work long hours, don't get weekends off, and earn very little money. If she wants to survive in entertainment journalism, she'll need passion, determination, and thick skin. Ra-hee's cheerful and innocent personality clashes with Mr. J's harsh attitude, creating several awkward but funny moments. Before ending the day, Mr. J assigns Woo to mentor Ra-hee and teach her everything she needs to know about being a reporter. After work, Ra-hee meets up with Jin as they head to dinner with the other interns. Curious, she asks why he chose an internship instead of opening his own photography studio, especially after winning a prestigious photography award. Jin explains that, despite his talent, what he really needs right now is real-world experience. Over dinner, the interns joke about how difficult life has become since starting work. Throughout the evening, Jin quietly looks after Ra-hee. Knowing she can't handle alcohol, he makes sure no one pressures her into drinking. Early the next morning, Ra-hee receives an urgent call from Mr. J. A popular K-pop group called U-Kiss has been involved in a serious car accident, and he orders her to head straight to the hospital to cover the story. When she arrives, the hospital is already packed with reporters desperate for information. Everyone is scrambling to get the first exclusive update. Suddenly, one of the doctors walks by. The reporters immediately surround him, bombarding him with questions before he can escape. Ra-hee quickly reports every detail she learns back to Mr. J. However, he isn't satisfied. The information is too vague, and he demands that she dig deeper. He orders her to track down the injured member's manager and get the full story directly from the source. Luckily, Ra-hee runs into Che, one of her former university seniors who now works as a reporter for another news agency. Che tells her that she used to work at Dong-Myung Agency, so she knows exactly how demanding Mr. J can be. Feeling sorry for Ra-hee, she helps her find the boy band's manager. Ra-hee quickly approaches the manager and asks for the information Mr. J needs. However, the manager only gives her limited details. When she reports back, Mr. J is once again disappointed and scolds her for not digging deeper. By her second day on the job, Ra-hee is already exhausted. She takes a short break in the hospital hallway to eat a quick breakfast. Unfortunately, a TV reporter starts broadcasting live nearby, and Ra-hee's tired, worn-out face ends up on national television. As if that wasn't embarrassing enough, Mr. J calls and yells at her to get back to work. Half asleep and frustrated, she accidentally snaps back at him over the phone. When everyone at the office hears about it, they can't stop laughing at her mistake. The next day, Han's agency announces that he has landed the lead role in a movie that will be filmed in the United States. Mr. J tells Woo to cover the press conference, but Woo refuses because Han's bodyguards already recognize him, making it impossible for him to get close. Instead, Mr. J orders Ra-hee to attend the event and look for any negative stories about Han. Ra-hee isn't comfortable with the assignment because she doesn't want to accuse someone without solid evidence. After a long argument, Mr. J tells Woo to continue mentoring her. Woo reminds Ra-hee that she doesn't know the history between Mr. J and Han, so she should trust her editor's judgment. In the end, Woo agrees to handle the assignment himself. Later, Ra-hee is assigned to interview a newly debuted boy band, During the interview, the group's leader reveals that their agency controls every part of their lives and only cares about making money. Feeling sympathetic, Ra-hee writes an honest article based on what they told her. As soon as the article is published, the company's director calls Mr. J. Unfortunately, Ra-hee answers the phone without realizing who it is and casually talks back to him. Furious, the director demands that Mr. J fire the reporter responsible for such a controversial article. He argues that the story is too one-sided and could damage the reputation of the entertainment department. Mr. J refuses to fire Ra-hee. Even though he's harsh and strict, he isn't willing to sacrifice one of his reporters just to satisfy management. Still, he scolds Ra-hee for creating trouble and gives her an embarrassing punishment by making her greet every senior employee in the office. That evening, the entire company gathers for a staff dinner. During a toast, Ra-hee accidentally drinks alcohol, forgetting that she's allergic to it. She gets drunk almost immediately. After dinner, Jin carries her home. When Ra-hee wakes up the next morning, she's shocked to find Jin in her room. Jin quickly explains that she was so drunk the night before that she insisted he stay to make sure she was okay. He reassures her that nothing happened between them without her consent. Ra-hee isn't bothered by it at all, and the two finally admit their feelings for each other and start dating. Mr. J spends the day teaching Ra-hee how to become a better writer. He carefully reviews every article she writes and keeps sending it back for revisions. After rewriting the same story over and over, both of them are exhausted. Eventually, Mr. J gets so tired of correcting her work that he tells her to stop writing for the day and just go home. Although she's worn out, Ra-hee can't afford to take it easy. Her bills are piling up, so she keeps pushing herself. The next morning, she arrives at the office before everyone else. An informant suddenly calls with an important tip, and Ra-hee immediately transfers the call to Mr. J. The informant claims that Han was attacked near his home and taken to the hospital. Mr. J and Woo find the story suspicious. Han is always surrounded by bodyguards, so it seems almost impossible for someone to attack him. Still, if the rumor is true, it could become a huge exclusive story. Since everyone else is busy, Ra-hee is sent to investigate on her own. When she arrives at the hospital, dozens of reporters are already gathered outside, all trying to get information. As Ra-hee tries to squeeze through the crowd, she runs into Che, her former university senior. Che tells her that standing with the other reporters is a waste of time and comes up with a risky plan. She pretends to injure her foot so they have an excuse to enter the hospital without attracting attention. Once inside, Che distracts the two security guards standing outside Han's room, giving Ra-hee a chance to slip inside. Surprisingly, the plan works. Han is surprised to see a reporter standing in his hospital room, but instead of getting angry, he remains calm. Before Ra-hee can ask him any questions, a woman suddenly walks in. Han quickly hides Ra-hee and pretends that no one else is there. The woman is CEO Jang, the head of JS Management and the person in charge of Han's career. She tells him that he has been cast as the lead actor in a movie that will be filmed in the United States. Oddly, Han doesn't seem happy about the news. After CEO Jang leaves, Han opens up to Ra-hee. He reveals details about his relationships with other celebrities and even asks her to publish the scandal, despite knowing it could ruin his own reputation. Ra-hee is confused by his request but agrees to keep the information. When she returns to the office, however, she lies to Mr. J. Instead of telling him what Han confessed, she only reports that Han had bruises consistent with being attacked. Mr. J immediately senses that she's hiding something. Convinced there's a much bigger story behind the incident, he scolds her for failing to uncover the truth. Later, Woo takes Ra-hee up to the rooftop to help her calm down. He explains that Mr. J may seem harsh, but he's the only person in the company who truly fights to protect the entertainment department and the reporters who work there. With free online news websites becoming more popular, traditional newspapers are struggling to compete. To survive, Mr. J's team knows they need to break stories that no one else has. Woo admits that Mr. J can be difficult to work with, but he tells Ra-hee that the chief genuinely cares about journalism and deserves her respect. Ra-hee is torn over whether she should publish the scandal Han asked her to reveal. After thinking it over and listening to her coworkers' advice, she finally decides to go ahead with it. The article becomes a huge success and earns Ra-hee her very first exclusive scoop. To celebrate, the team goes out for dinner after work. During the meal, they tell Ra-hee about a case Mr. J investigated years ago, A woman had accused Han of sexually harassing her, and Mr. J worked hard to expose the truth. The case even went to court, but it fell apart when the woman suddenly disappeared. Because of the failed investigation, Mr. J lost his chance at a promotion. That's why he has such deep resentment toward Han and his agency. The following day, CEO Jang becomes concerned about the attention Ra-hee's article has attracted. She invites Mr. J and Ra-hee to dinner. Although she never says it directly, it's clear she's trying to win them over so the agency will receive more favorable coverage in the future. She even promises them an exclusive interview with Han after he finishes filming his movie in the United States. The offer seems to ease the tension between Mr. J and CEO Jung, but it raises an important question. Will Mr. J compromise his principles for fame and expensive gifts? As time passes, several interns decide to quit. Woo also resigns after a heated argument with Mr. J, choosing a quieter life as a barista instead of continuing as a reporter. Soon afterward, Ra-hee is officially hired as a full-time employee. Around the same time, Jin also leaves after receiving an opportunity to work as a photographer in Manhattan with one of his former seniors. Meanwhile, Han's relationship with CEO Jang continues to fall apart. During the filming of his movie, Han suddenly disappears and rumors spread that he plans to leave JS management. He secretly schedules a press conference to announce his departure without telling CEO Jang. CEO Jang has no intention of letting her biggest star walk away. Knowing Han is the agency's biggest source of income, she visits Mr. J and hands him a file containing evidence related to Han's old sexual harassment case. She wants him to publish the story before Han can make his announcement. Seeing the chance to break another major exclusive, Mr. J accepts the file and assigns Ra-hee to organize the evidence and write the article. However, as Ra-hee investigates the documents, she notices several inconsistencies. The more she looks into them, the more convinced she becomes that CEO Jung has fabricated parts of the evidence. Unable to ignore what she has discovered, Ra-hee refuses to publish the story and tells Mr. J that the evidence can't be trusted. Ra-hee's refusal to publish the story leaves Mr. J unsure of what to do. In the end, he tells her to attend Han's upcoming press conference while he stays behind. Just before the press conference begins, reporters receive breaking news about new evidence related to Han's past sexual harassment case. To Ra-hee's surprise, Mr. J is the one who published the article himself. The story immediately becomes the center of attention, and all the reporters abandon the original purpose of the press conference. Instead of announcing that he is leaving JS management, Han is forced to answer questions about the allegations. Unable to continue, he cancels the event and leaves. Moments later, his car is involved in an accident. When Ra-hee returns to the office, she angrily confronts Mr. J. She argues that the evidence was unreliable and shouldn't have been published. Mr. J defends his decision, explaining that a journalist's job is to report the information they receive, not to conduct criminal investigations like the police. Ra-hee struggles to accept his reasoning. Determined to uncover the real truth, Ra-hee begins her own investigation. She gradually realizes that CEO Jang has been manipulating the scandals to control Han and prevent him from leaving the agency. She writes a new article exposing the exploitation behind the scenes. Mr. J and the rest of the team believe her story is worth publishing, but the company's director refuses to approve it. It's clear that CEO Jang has powerful connections who don't want the truth to come out. Refusing to give up, Ra-hee confronts CEO Jang during another press conference. Without solid evidence in hand, however, her accusations only make her look unprofessional and no one takes her seriously. What Ra-hee doesn't know is that Mr. J and the rest of the team already have a backup plan. Instead of publishing the article through their newspaper, they anonymously post it on social media. The story quickly goes viral, attracting nationwide attention. As more journalists pick up the story, CEO Jang is bombarded with questions she can no longer avoid. Eventually, the truth behind Han's exploitation is exposed, and CEO Jang is arrested for her crimes. The film ends by reminding us that the glamorous lives of celebrities often hide a much darker reality. Journalism can be a powerful tool. It can expose the truth, but it can also be used to bury it behind lies. What do you think about CEO Jang's actions? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more movie recaps. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.